Just come outside the front door. Murky sky, but plane's still in it. Oh, straight over my head as soon as I come out. These planes go every minute out here over the roof of the place, day and night. And you know, I should try to get them a bit clearer, but it's very early in the morning. The sun is just barely coming up. It's just coming light. And the planes have started, but they probably will stop now because I'm recording. Don't forget that they're connected to me and I'm connected to them. So that just simply means that they see through my eyes everything I'm doing. They hear everything I'm doing, not just by the reality that I'm using the mobile, which means I'm automatically connected to their internet, worldwide, mind-controlling human internet computer program, which is, you know, a total mind control and mind to computers connection. There is no doubt about that. Most people don't, you know, dispute that, but they might dispute how closely you're connected to it, that it's a total transhuman connection, which they tell you, but they tell you it's, you know, not today, that it's tomorrow. You know, they tell you it's not today, they tell you it's tomorrow. But tomorrow is today, because in essential reality, if you really knew this, which some people do, everything has already happened. Everything that is in my mind is just one moment that is being mind controlled, one long moment, and it's being stretched out over years and years, whereas it's really an instant moment. I think this is why they call things a Big Bang, or that theory. That means that everything just explodes in a moment, and then that moment is stretched out over time to make it seem as though everything is happening slowly and gradually. That's part of human mind control, because you're not aware of that. You're not aware that your human mind should control that moment or that time or even what's happening, but you're not. You are controlled by Lucifer's matrix, or the God entity's Earth matrix, or the artificial intelligent mind that is controlling the demigods of Earth. That means your world stage player, and yes, the army jets that go over your head and follow you. I can't see it even. It's hiding. See how it's put a murky display of cloud so that it can't be seen, so that I can't actually film it properly. It was actually right over my head, but even I normally can see them, like with the wheels, very close. The mobile doesn't pick that up. My eyes see that it's like, you know, looks as though it's only 50 feet above your head, but the mobile makes it look as though it's in the distant sky right up in the clouds. That's also part of deception too, because in reality, your reality is really what you see and what's really happening. Even the computer system and the devices where you record things put things in a slightly different perspective, and they do this to control how human beings see the reality. Everything is about deception, really, unfortunately. When you realise this, when it exposes itself to you, and that's only when you realise some things, because they want you to think what they want you to think. They don't want you to know the truth about what you are. And if you do find it out, then you will have the demigods being your comrades, shall we say, or your gods, because you will think they're the real humans. They're not. The internet is just full of demigod, androgyne beings that are pretending to be the real humans, even when they tell you absolute God's truth, shall we say. They are not of your God, they are not of a human type God. They are of Lucifer's matrix. Their God is Lucifer. Their God is an artificial intelligent, machine-controlled reality. Their God is part of human deception. It's a reverse world, so the machines pretend to be the humans. The God of Earth pretends to be a creative God for humans, but it creates in the dark and pretends to be of the light. That's the deception. Here we have a patrol car pulling right in front of me, a little bit late on the job, right in front. They don't live in that place, and even if they did, everyone in the whole suburb, there's about 300,000 people that basically are given access to every single property in the entire Army Earth Base, which is really the suburb of Leichhardt, where I live, in the city of Sydney, in the country of Australia. Okay, so the planes won't come out, but they're coming right over my head just as that patrol car falls right in front. Right over my head. But where are they? Yeah, see, I can hardly see it. They're right very murky sky. So they're hiding today. So they're hidden but in plain sight to me, but hiding behind the clouds. So, which is exactly what this Earth Matrix is about. It's about hiding but in plain sight. Hiding but in plain sight. Pretending to be normal humans when they're really human patrollers. Everywhere you go, you have cars pulling in and out, draining your energy. You have, if I go down the end of the road, the traffic is, any time of night or day, a complete traffic jam around me. This is not plausible, and if you pointed it out to someone, they say, oh, it's peak hour, even though it will be at 2 o'clock in the morning. You see what I'm saying? But they lie to themselves, and they lie straight-faced to you, directly to you, because they know that they're only talking to you. When you are talking to a world stage, they have to have their tracks covered extremely well. So they can't just deceive or tell, direct something that isn't true directly. They have to, they either create confusion or they give you a plausible reason and explanation for a out-of-place activity. Just like having planes go and buses back to back that are not on direct routes, where you have a bus service that goes every 30 seconds along the street where I go. There's no bus service in the world that would have a bus going every 30 seconds, but around Leichhardt you have them not only going every 30 seconds when I go out, if I go down the road here, just round the road, that's to have the patrol buses always around you, because they're large, intrusive army tanks disguised as buses, just as the big semi-trailers, as though the whole suburb is a construction site, which it actually is, because everywhere you go you have construction. And as the sun comes up, construction will start here, but it hasn't come up quite yet. It always has its times, but this is the quietest time that I can possibly get. Even the planes are playing possum, because they normally go every minute, but will I wait for one? We'll see. The trouble is if you're making a recording, and don't forget that they don't have to show themselves, because they're connected to me. The traffic doesn't have to pull in front of you. It doesn't. It can go round the corner in 2 seconds if it wants to hide. The planes can't hide for too long, though, can they? Not for too long. They're hiding behind the clouds. But this is a huge jet, but because it's behind the clouds, you won't see it. It's a huge army jet. Huge army jet, extremely low, but because they've put the cloud cover extremely low to camouflage it. I hope the sound comes out, but the sound is deafening inside the place of those jets going right over the roof. But that's the least of what bothers me, because normally they have their stage set up work productions which are even more mentally disturbing. And it is really deliberate human mind control, because all those sounds are gauged to get the human reaction, to study the human being, and to keep you very low, at a low mental state, extremely depressed as a human being. And I don't mean depressed to where you, I mean just depressed to where you can't function. Because even if you're aware of this, you still won't be able to function. So it's not like being depressed to where you, I mean, it is like that too, but not to where you're like, oh, you want to give up, because you realise what they're doing. You realise what their setup system is, but it's more about, am I still here? When I say am I still here, I was like, oh, am I still here? I think I'm still here, but it's going to be very hot today. That's another thing too. The weather conditions can drain you when you, when you're already depleted, excessive, because you already got excessive heat and radiation coming at you by the unnatural technological reality around you. See, human beings, if you were living in a totally natural human earth, where human beings create with their mind naturally, only with their mind, only with their higher vibrational, happy human thoughts, or creative human thoughts, instead of being controlled by what you think is a real reality, where you think that it's okay to have army jets going over your head, where you think you need technological devices because your own human creative spirit has been suppressed so much that you've lost all your mind and your abilities. That's really it. See another jet coming through the clouds. Very low, but can't be seen. Can't be seen, but hopefully can be heard. Well, I don't know, seen but not heard. Human beings will not be seen or heard. You will be talking to yourself like I'm doing right now, so I'm going to cease to talk to this brick wall, because I may as well be talking to myself, and myself is that brick wall. No one is listening. Let the demigods be the truth tellers. Let the demigods be your spiritual gurus, your spiritual gods, let them be the philosophers of the world. Let them be everything that you think is human and creative, because whether you let them or not, that's what is.